The chair is here, and so is the hand, Mutt. So people are wondering where El Guapo is. Where in the world is El Guapo? The empty chair and this floating hand pretending to be El Guapo. All right, we're just waiting for Phil to come in. He just sent me a quick note saying he was on his way. Yeah, man. So we're just waiting. Actually, so normally I fly these things by the seat of my pants on my own. But actually, it'd be kind of cool to have a co-host tonight. I don't know if you have. I put a message out to somebody, to Alejandro Garcia. But yeah, Ma, if you want to just pop in, man, that'd be great. You can co-host with me. Let me know by giving me a thumbs up here. Let's see. Oh, dude, now. Okay, and he got back to me. Now. All right. Anyway, so I'm just kind of setting things up right now. I'm still off camera, as you can clearly see. Don't worry about it, Ma. It's fine. Oh, cool. So anyway, like I said, I'm waiting for Phil Diaz to show up for his Drawstream. What? How does that work? But let me go on and share this real quick with the Twitters. All right, so that's shared. I got 2 people watching right now. One of them is me, and the chair, the empty chair, is watching. And Muttman just popped on real quick before he heads off to another show. Go back over here. All right, I'm gonna just glide into my position over here whilst I wait and show you my new Swagalicious shirt created by myself. Cool Joker image that I did back in the day. And made a shirt out of it. How about that? All right, so I guess while we're waiting, we can talk a little bit. Just want to give everybody just a big heck of a thank you for that final push that we got on Chango, and getting that bad boy successfully crowdfunded. So yeah, pretty exciting. And so thankful. Uh, it was a little nerve wracking. I wasn't sure if he was even gonna medicate. Where did you get to print that shirt? There's a local guy here in the town I live in Florida, in Claremont, and he did it there. So yeah, it came up pretty tight. I have a color version of this, but but the black and white, I just thought looked more striking. But he did a good job. All right. So anyway, so I'm just really I'm humbled and just really thankful for everyone that pitched in on the end, and I wasn't sure if this thing was even going to fund because I had started initially on Indiegogo and that really, for whatever reason, it just wasn't taking. So made the decision to go over to Kickstarter, and that it started a little slow, but slowly but surely on the last 2 days, like I want to say maybe the last week, we really started building a lot of momentum on that. Got to the last day, and I thought it was going to be stressing all the way to the last minute, but mid-afternoon, the thing got funded, and it was just like, yay, big celebration at the house. So it was pretty exciting. Yeah, thanks a lot, Mutt. Yeah, it is. It came out. I thought it came out pretty great too. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Phil's doing here. I guess he's giving me some chance to. Let me see. Okay, yeah, he just informed me. Let's see. We're gonna read the dirty laundry out loud here. Let me see what he's saying. What his sorry excuse is right now. He says, "Sorry, brother, have to download something last minute to make it work." Okay. Well, we understand that. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate the tweet out. Yeah. So he's trying to finalize some last minute technical things so he can join on the stream. So yeah, I appreciate that. For anyone that else that's watching live, I do these streams every Monday night at 8:30. I may change it tonight. I don't know. It's there's a couple other things that conflict. So I'm kind of trying to do this 8:30 time slot. I really am interested in bringing people on and talking about their projects, whether it's on Kickstarter, whether it's on Indiegogo. It doesn't matter if you're crowdfunding. I see your stuff. I find it interesting. I definitely want to promote it. And let's add Phil. There he is.
Hey, man. Sorry about that.
What's going on?
Oh,
No worries. So we were just kind of just burying you a little bit with some dirt, kind of talking about your sorry excuses. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man, dude, right? Technical things, right? Always something.
Yeah.
So we were just talking a little bit about let's see. I may or may not have a co-host tonight. Ask somebody.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have Cold Piece come on and just kind of co-host with me a little bit. So I'm gonna just go ahead and take a minute and send them the link real quick. So how's it going, man? How you doing today?
Whew. Today's been crazy.
Yeah.
But ready to talk about comics, hang out, chill for a little bit. Decompressed.
No, I hear you. Yeah, so that's what we're doing here, man. We're just gonna, we're just gonna chill. I'm gonna be drawing. Gonna be talking about your project. Cold Piece is coming on to. He's a pretty cool dude. So I don't know if you've ever interacted with him. I'm sure you have. He's in Deltaverse, but.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, but yeah, he's a pretty chill dude. So just I was just kind of going over the just the campaign for Chango, and how that was coming up to the last minute. And,
Oh yeah, man, that was
man,
awesome.
you try not to have doubts and stuff like that, but they always creep in, man. It's like, but I just tried to maintain a positive attitude. It's one of those things where I knew that I was putting in the work,
Yeah,
and I said to myself, man, I'm doing what I can. I'm promoting it. I'm promoting other people. I'm not just thinking about myself, and that sort of thing.
yeah,
And not because I was looking for something in return, because I generally do want to talk to other people and find out what they're doing, and maybe
right.
kind of get some ideas and that sort of stuff, and just kind of I just like meeting new people. That are interested in making good comics and that sort of thing with original ideas. And you're like, wow, man, why isn't this working? Why am I struggling like this? Um,
Right.
and it took me, I had to make a major decision, halfway through to go on Kickstarter, and that was kind of humbling, because I really, 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 really wanted Indiegogo to work, but I think that for the type of book that this is, I just really found that the audience may not have been there for this in Indiegogo at this time for this kind of story.
Yeah,
And so when I went over to Kickstarter, and Kickstarter, let's be real, right? It's a bigger platform, all right? It's bigger than Indiegogo,
yes,
but they have a space for different kind of stories like what I was bringing, and so I think that was, it was a good move, and it really kind of helped to get things moving along. So I'm
yeah,
just really thankful for that. And I guess the lesson here is that these campaigns are long, been
yep,
pushing this for about 60 days, right? And that's a long time, and it can wear on you, and it can make you kind of be a little bit spiteful even, or yeah, or kind of be like, what the heck, man, maybe you second guessing yourself the whole time. um, but you have to be willing to change. One of my favorite sayings, because I studied martial arts, and one of my heroes was obviously Bruce Lee. But
of
he
course.
had this thing that he always says: you want to be like water. Water can take any form and it can go anywhere, because it's willing to change itself and become what it needs to be. And so be like water, and that meant changing my preconceived ideas and my plan and
Yeah,
inserting something new. So we just really have to be willing to do that and be flexible. So ultimately it was successful. Ultimately it got to where it needed to be. And I appreciate guys like yourself and
thanks,
Mon,
man.
and the groups that we're in, Deltaverse, Press Dog, all the different crowdfunding shows that I've been on. Whoa, who's that stranger in the back walking by? Is
I
that
don't know. I gotta
Zane?
close that door. Might have been my brother or his girlfriend. Is that Brandon? Brandon, links in your Facebook. Sorry, he's on another show tonight.
Yeah.
Ugh, it's crazy, and my computer's not working, so I'm on his like drawing tablet,
Oh,
and so it's gonna look like I'm looking down, but I'm looking at you. You're on my lap, and my
yeah,
camera's over
yeah.
here. So,
No, it's all good,
ugh,
man. It's all good. So anyway, yeah, so we're here. We're here. Just let me just to everyone that is not aware, my guest tonight is Phil Diaz. Phil Diaz is the writer and co-creator of Magic Cop, which
that is
launched.
right.
What was that? Last Friday it launched.
It launched last Monday, the 19th.
Last Monday. Yeah, so it
Yeah.
launched last Monday, and right now he is actually here. Let me open up that. that window because I do have it here. And let me share my screen real quick. Let me share this one. All right, share. All right, so right now we have Magic Cop, and we are more than halfway there with 24 days left. So really solid start. I back this book because I think I just think it's cool. All right, this is cool. It's a cool book. Okay, it's a throwback to the '90s, and what's awesome about it is that it's a sorcery uh, cop detective story with good looking babes,
Yeah.
crime, and it's set in that world of Miami. What is that show? Miami Beach, and so yeah, man, it's really awesome to see this. Um, so let's go down here. I want to look at some of the perks that you have here, and here's that nice pinup.
Yeah,
This
the
is done by
Pablo
your brother,
Romero.
right?
No, this was Pablo Romero.
Oh, this is Pablo
He's
Romero. Oh, okay, all right.
yeah,
Pablo Romero. Yeah,
awesome
okay,
artist.
I can see it now. It's very distinct '80s
Yeah.
pop style that he has. All right, so let's look at this first perk. Okay, so in this first perk, we're looking at $45, and what do you get with that?
Yeah, so this is our featured perk. You get the graphic novel, the book, which is 88 pages, 4 chapters, and along with that book, you get our Ash Can, which is the behind the scenes book. It has a 12-page short story that kind of gets you into the world. It's our what we call our pilot issue, and then along with that, we're going to have original concept art for the characters, some behind the scenes looks. So we'll throw the script in there and see how that compares to the finished pages. And like if you're into behind the scenes of making comics and if you're a writer yourself, definitely pick this package up because those things, they interest me, and I think they're interesting to any up and coming creator. But definitely for that pilot issue, it comes with those two things. And that pilot issue is or the behind the scenes ash can is awesome because it has that beautiful cover done by Elliot Fernandez. And I'm sure we'll get to that as we scroll down. It looks so
Yeah,
cool.
absolutely. All right, so then we're gonna go to the next perk here, which pretty self-explanatory here, right? You get the signed book, 88 pages for $25. People, I gotta tell you,
Yeah,
that's actually a great deal. Great
yeah,
deal.
yeah. When
And
I
this is
was
full
writing,
color, right, Phil?
yeah, full color. Yeah, and when I was writing the book, we didn't know what the length we wanted to have it, but it ended up being us making it like this 4 chapter like total story arc where it's as if you were watching a episode of Miami Vice where it's a self-contained story. So it has that kind of like arc of a story should. You're not buying one issue where you have to wait for the conclusion in the third issue or the fourth issue. This is a full story that sets the foundation for the world and leaves room for us to take off with the intellectual property for another book, episode 2, episode 3.
Nice, nice. All right, so we're gonna go down here to the digital perk, and this one here, I see you have this for $25 as well.
Yep.
And your thought on this on the digital version here.
Yeah. So we hear a lot of like the indie pros, which is kind of a contradiction, but the indie pros saying that don't do digital because it's going to get pirated or stuff like that. Our mentality is if it's going to get pirated, it's more eyes on the project, and if they dig it, then they're going to want to give us money when we come out with the next stuff. So digital is really for people overseas that don't want to pay the extra $5 in shipping. And so we're putting it out there for people. There's no shipping, $25 flat rate. And really, my brother's mentality with this was all video games now are digital, and you're still paying the $60 when you download them because the same amount of work is going into making them in the long term. So why not just have it be that flat rate. And if people really want the book and they're overseas, they're going to pick up this perk. It's great for them.
All right, awesome. Oh shoot, I think I just knocked off. Yeah, I think I just kicked off my boy. Hey, Copies, come back on. I accidentally knocked you off. And I got this funny thing on the screen. What the heck is this fine detail crap on there? I don't. That's weird. Why is that showing up? All right. Anyway, let's go down to this next perk here. So that's awesome. All right. Let's see here. All right. So, hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Geez, what the heck is going on here, man? I'm freaking boomering the hell out of everything. Jeez, man. Hold on a second.
Let's see here. Oh man.
Let's get back here again.
You're still on though, right?
Yeah, dude. I don't know. All of a sudden, my computer's acting wonky as heck.
You mind if I talk about the 2-book?
Yeah, go ahead and do the 2-book tier because I think you should still be able to see that, right?
Yeah, I hope so. Let me go to that YouTube. But yeah, the 2-book tier. There's a lot of people in the community that love to collect and new up and coming comics. That's a thing you're going to want to do. So you can have your book for reading and your one in your protective sleeve, your bag and boards, or a lot of people are selling them on eBay later. So if this IP takes off, and we have a lot of ideas to further it in the future. So if you want to keep one to sell, or it's good to have two, give it to a friend. Valentine's Day's in February, so you could give it to your loved one.
Yeah. All right. Dude, I'm having serious troubles. I can't even see you right now, but that's fine. We're gonna go on to the next perk here. So now we're down to the signed book and naughty print. Can you see that?
So this. Yep. There it is. And so yeah, the signed book, of course, comes with the same book. And so inside the book, we have interior covers for the beginnings of the chapters. The second image on this page is the first interior cover. It's like that sushi cover, really, really interesting cover. Everyone gets freaked out by that one. But my brother Brandon originally drew these interior covers with nudity, so the mermaids are topless. And for the print job inside the book, it is censored. There's a big knife in front of the breasts. And so if you want to see those uncensored as posters, you get 4 prints with this tier that has those covers uncensored, so you could put them on display. We got that basically from Coffin Comics, with Lady Death. It's a very large audience for that book, and one of the main themes of that is sex appeal, and they do special covers that are uncensored. Your nudie covers, the boudoir covers. Even Billy Tucci did a boudoir cover for the first time this year for She at San Diego Comic-Con. So we're like, my brother loves drawing that stuff, and we still wanted to keep the book accessible for late teens. And so if you want a way to get around it, support the book like that, you like some pretty beautiful art to hang up around the house, so you could pick that perk up.
Awesome. All right, so let's go to I think, is this the last tier here? Let's see. Oh, you got a lot of tiers here, bro. Nice. All right. Now it looks like we got the comic, the ash can, and 4 prints. So this that would include the prints that your brother did, right?
Yeah. So it's the same perk, except added the ash can. So this is kind of like the bundle pack if you wanted to.
Okay.
Let's pick that one up.
Yep. Sweet. And I see you have comic bundle. Nice. This could almost be like a retailer special, right?
Yeah, that's the retailer pack. So, we've, of course, people own stores, and even if you don't, you get, for a really good price, you get 5 books plus a retailer poster, which is, exclusive to this tier. You could put up on your wall. Like I go to comic shops, and I sometimes if I really like a comic, I'll get a retail poster. Actually, I have a Valiant retailer poster hanging up from my local comic shop right over here. It's for the book Punk Mambo. Super cool retailer poster. I have another one for Carnage USA. It's just something special and different to throw in there. So if you do have a shop, you can hang it up in your window. Or, you know, if you just need some extra books, you could definitely pick that one up.
All right, all right. So and okay, wow, we
These are
start.
the fun ones right here.
Yeah, these are fun,
This
right? Okay.
the executive producer tier. Now, we were just thinking of ways to incorporate the 80s into these perks. And the book actually opens kind of like a TV show. So each panel on the first, I'd say, 4 pages has a different credit on it. You know, one saying, Philip Diaz, who's the screenwriter of this, and my brother was the costume and scenery design. And so we're having an executive producer tier. So you could get your name as an executive producer, I think on page 4. And with that comes the 2 books, the 88-page graphic novel and the ash can. And then on top of that, we're sending you a crew jacket, a 1980s. It's basically like a rad windbreaker. It's that picture right there. It's going to have Magic Cop on the back. It's going to say Zaid Comics on the back and your name embroidered on the front. And these are only going to be exclusive to people that have worked on the book. So, you know, you get this tier, you feel like you're a part of this creation. That's what we wanted to hit home with.
And that color scheme is so 80s, man. It's great.
Yeah,
All
we
right, and
found the
then
perfect jacket.
the last, I guess this is the piece de resistance, right? The Elliot
Yeah,
Page
definitely.
cover.
Yeah, you
So
get the 2 books, and
yeah, with this.
with yeah, you get the traditional arts. The cover, I believe he did it on Bristol board, 11 by 17. It is penciled and inked, and it has so much detail on it. He was on his Instagram showing it off, an Instagram live, just getting in there, zooming in on the details of the sunglasses, the cross hatching on them. You know, he said he was experimenting with some different nibs. I don't even know what that means, but it's an artist thing, so that's cool. And yeah, it's rad. And being someone that's so passionate about their work, I just want to keep this piece of art. But you know, having it contribute to the campaign is even cooler. And I can't wait until someone picks this one up and could hang it up on their wall and frame it because it's going to be so cool.
Yeah, that'll be great. All right, so, geez, I don't know what the heck is going on with my screen here, but I got this funky window open that says fine detail mode, and it is ticking me off that I can't get out of it.
That's weird.
That is weird. Let me stop
I
sharing.
want to, if I could, I want to show some fan art that for this stream,
Yeah.
I
So
want
let
to
me
put.
let me white box you here. See, I can't even white box you. I've
Oh,
got
here,
some
I'll do this.
going on here, brother.
If you
And I can't
go,
even get cold piece on it. He's just waiting patiently. I'm just gonna kill my let me kill my clip studio and doggone it, that is doing nothing. Listen,
I think
guys,
you should be able to wipe out me now.
I don't know why I'm having this issue right now. Um, yeah, I really don't know why I'm having this issue right now, but I have this funky window open and I can't figure out how to get out of it.
Hmm.
Um,
Are you able to? I put the screen share thing. You should be able to click on that because someone
I,
has to initiate it in
I
StreamYard.
don't know it's, I really don't know what the heck is going on right now, but I am,
Oh,
oh my gosh, I'm not even in my screen anymore. Um, why am I having problems
let's see
here?
what's going on.
Um, all right, this is not good.
It
I'm having major technical difficulties over here.
seems like it's on your background. Can you still hear me? No, am I live by myself? This is weird. I'm gonna try to screen share. I wonder if hold Alt and hit Tab right in the window. Oh man, my hair. Sorry, everybody, my hair looks so bad. It's humid in my room. Not the best. All right, so I'm going to show you guys this cool piece of art since you guys could see me. I think this piece of art is should be on stream right now. If you're able to see it, that would be cool. So this is Vic King's awesome fan art. No, you can't even see it. You can't even see it. Cool. Yeah, so hopefully El Guapo gets back in here. I don't know how to use StreamYards at all, which is what we're streaming off of, but go over to zadecomics.com if you haven't already. We have a mailing list. You could sign up on that mailing list, and then you'll get an email saying welcome and a secret link to a secret tier, which comes with the 2 books and a members only print, which we tweeted out today. We put on Facebook today. If you guys aren't following us on Facebook, Zade Comics on Facebook, definitely follow us there. And yeah. I'm gonna message El Guapo and see what's going on. Hey, maybe I'll send him that link again. And hopefully he comes in here. Because I am somehow streaming on someone else's channel without them being here. Who's in chat? Is anyone still in chat? Wish I could see if people were still in chat. Hey, what's up, Rusty Deo? My computer is down here and my camera's up here, so it's gonna look like I'm looking down. But if you guys haven't, if you just got in here, hey.
All right, I'm back. Holy crap. That was crazy. You know, we had major lightning storms today, and
Yeah.
it's been affecting everything. So
Excuses.
I was a little concerned coming on and thinking that things were going to get screwed up, and sure enough, they did. I want to apologize to all the people that saw that happen. I apologize for that. But you know, technology being what it is. But we're here. We got a bunch of people here. Let me just give some shout outs to Good Idea Comics. 4 o'clock Vintage says that we're really romantic right now. I think she's talking about the sexy posters. And then we got also, she said something about Dance Monkey Phil. What do you know about that? And we got Rusty Dale. Tank Ferret is up in the house representing Deltaverse. I want to also introduce my boy, Cold Piece. What's up, Cold Piece?
Hey.
What's up? Can you
What's
guys hear
going
me?
on? So,
Yeah, we got
Cold
you.
Piece, aka Alejandro.
Yeah.
This is gonna be the Latin hour right now. We got Phil Diaz, Cesar El Guapo Feliciano, and Alejandro, aka Cold Piece, all here chatting it up. So you live. Let me see. Good Idea says you live in Florida, and doesn't it get lightning every day? Well, just about. So yeah, that was crazy. So we did manage to. We got through all the perks, right?
Yes, we did.
Okay,
I wanted to
fantastic.
show off.
Listen, guys, there's
kind
some
of-
great stuff there that Phil put up. I'm gonna do a screen share because Phil wants to share some of his some stuff that he's wants to give us a little bit of a heads up on. So I'm gonna go ahead and add his screen. There we go, right there. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna let him chat it up. And hey, Alejandro, anytime you just want to pop in, ask a question, do your thing, man. You know.
Yeah, no problem. Just excuse my coughing. Asthma's acting up right now.
All right, you guys could see this awesome art right here.
Oh, yeah, I
Did
can
you get-
see something.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, no, that's a great piece. Uh-oh. Now we lost Phil.
StreamYards, the wave of the future.
I know, right? StreamYards. Everyone's on StreamYard tonight. And Tank Fair is saying Bob's. Wonder what he means by that.
I
What do
don't
you mean
know.
by
I don't know.
Bob's? He was looking at that one piece that Phil put up and said Bob's.
Yeah, no, I
Let's
know.
see. 4 o'clock vintage. It says pretty sure it rains all day, and you would be right about that. Also, there's alligators. Heck yeah, I actually had one in my backyard about almost 5 feet long, and my wife thought it would be really cool to get within 2 feet of it. She's crazy.
All right, guys. Sorry, I'm back.
There you go, Phil. We just got you on voice right now, buddy.
Yeah. Can you see my screen still?
I cannot. No one can.
All right.
Share your screen again, buddy.
Sharing my screen. Sorry about that. This thing.
That's what I'm saying. It's that kind of night tonight. What the heck? All right,
Yeah,
let me add it to
you
the
don't even
screen. There we go.
right.
Hey, Tank, there's
Cool.
the Bobs. More Bobs.
Yeah, so this is an awesome fan piece that was done the night we launched by Vic King, this super cool artist. He did some covers for Worth the Wizard, and he just killed this piece. This is a character named Madam Sith. She is the head of a prostitution ring in the city of Ambrosia, and she's kind of like this Medusa-esque Gorgon character. And we wanted to show this print off, or this fan art off, is because for this stream tonight, if anyone backs Magic Cop during the stream, they're going to get a free print of this awesome fan art.
Whoa, that is huge. You guys hear that? So if you back, and I definitely want to make sure. Hey, Alejandro, could you put a link out on Twitter to the Indiegogo campaign for Magic Cop and make that announcement that they can get a free print?
Free print, okay.
Yep.
And I also want to mention that Vic King is also the artist of the Extractors.
Nice.
So
That's right.
It's another book. So if you if you're a fan of that, then you gotta get in on some art.
Phil, I just also want to say that Pablo is also in here and he wants to see more Bobs.
Yeah, Pablo's the king of Bobs. Draw some Bobs. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, so I wanted to definitely get that print out here and offer that for anyone in the audience that wants to back
That's
tonight.
awesome. That's awesome. So people, please go ahead and back that project tonight. I mean, you can get this beautiful print by Vic King with some really nice Bobs.
Yeah. It was so cool scrolling through Twitter, and I scrolled past this and I'm like, no way someone else has a character that has this face, because she kind of has like this snake face, kind of like swallowing her face. And Brandon really designed this character really well, where it keeps the femininity while having that human mouth and those voluptuous lips. And I clicked on it. I'm like, what? This is our character. And then I read it, and he did this fan art, and he did it like, I don't know how many, he did it within the day. Started it when he saw the splash page that we have of Madam Sith on our campaign. It's one of our last pictures, and we hadn't released that image anywhere else until we put it on the launch day. So he really put in a lot of work on doing this.
No, and it's a nice piece.
Mm-hmm.
While I'm here, I just want to also encourage people to please share this feed out. While Phil is showing some art, I'm actually drawing something in the background here because this is the El Guapo Drawstream. So we're going to be talking about the project, and I'm going to be working on something in the background here. Yeah, by all means, please go ahead and let other people know, share this, and if you haven't subscribed to the El Guapo channel, why haven't you? You got to do that. We're having fun.
Definitely. Hit that like button too while we're in here.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to smash that like button. Smash it hard. So let's see here.
9 people watching. Good. I dig it.
Yeah, a lot of people watching, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got it up here right now. That's solid.
Yeah, we could throw your art back up there. I just wanted to show that.
Go through that because I'm just kind of doing my layout right now, man. Come on. Not surprising.
Let me see what else I got. Because I don't know where it is. I'm on this different computer. Let me start my camera too.
Apparently, there's a book called Homeless Cop.
Homeless Cop.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It ended. They only made 7% funding.
Yeah. Wow. It sounds interesting. I mean, maybe they were going somewhere with that. That's
bit of a logistics problem too if you're a homeless cop.
I would say, yeah. I mean, unless you're like seriously undercover, right?
I can't share my screen again now.
So you got some more art you're sharing with us there, Phil, or what?
I can't share my screen for some reason now.
Oh, okay. See, I'm telling you,
it's not working.
It's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy tonight. But all right. So what is the genesis of I mean, why Magic Cop? It's not so much the name Magic Cop, but what made you decide that you wanted to do a sword? I mean, not a sorcery magic story set in the 1980s, and not just the regular 1980s, Miami 1980s, Miami Vice.
That's very specific. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. It kind of just happened. Like my brother came up with the title. It derived from the title. He just said Magic Cop, just put the 2 words together, and we're like, wow, what could that be? So we work in the video game industry. We kind of design arcade games, and working in that, a lot of arcade games have just crazy, wacky names. And he was referring to a different game that he couldn't remember the name of, so he said Magic Cop. And I'm like, Magic Cop? He's like, yeah. And we looked it up, and there's no game that has that title. So we're like, what could that be? What would Magic Cop be? And, we're big fans of like 90s side-scrolling beat-em-ups, like Bad Dudes, Double Dragon, Streets of Rage. And we thought it would be a perfect title for a side-scrolling beat-em-up. And then we expanded upon that. I've been a writer all my life. I love imagination. I have such a passion for it. And coming up with characters, world creation. So I just thought, what could that be? And my dad's favorite show is Miami Vice. And so we just love that 80s aesthetic. Even, taking some things from like Speed Racer, that just the flat colors and just things from that just blew our minds from the 80s and wrapped it up into Magic Cop. So I started creating characters. As you could, see, the 4 main characters on the Magic Cop team basically derived from the archetypes from side-scrolling beat-em-ups. And you have your 2 main guys who are a little similar. We have Iggy Cromwell, who's our Magic Cop. We have Grey Wolf, who's a Wolfman. Grey Wolf is actually based on a Chuck Norris character from an old movie called Hitman, who was also referenced in the movie Sidekicks. So those are deep cuts. But and then we have the female character who's a little bit faster, more agile, and then our big character whose name's O'Hara. He's a half leprechaun, half giant. So taking those archetypes, putting them into this game, and creating bosses for them. So, long story short, the game never got greenlit, but I had all this back matter, these backstories, these bad guys that we wanted to do something with. And then a few years ago, probably like 7 years ago, my brother and I used to publish small press comics together. And so we're like, hey, let's just make this into a comic. It was kind of the perfect time. You know, the Indiegogo scene was blowing up, the Comicsgate scene was blowing up. We got into that and, you know, found a community that really supported us, helped push us, and we found a place where we could help push smaller indie guys also. You know, made the YouTube channel, been doing reviews on there, updates about the book, and, you know, it kicked off like that.
Yeah. So you mentioned in your channel there, and I want people to know that Zaid Comics. Hold on, let me just read this. Rusty Dale wants to know, half leprechaun, half giant. Tell me the mother was the giant, or that's one embarrassed giant.
I mean,
That's funny.
I want to put some dialogue in there that the mother was the leprechaun to make it like, oh, she had not a good delivery. It was pretty painful for her. There's a little joke in there.
Yeah, I hear you. So, yeah. So, where was I going with my question?
Yeah, when he was
so
born,
Zaid
he was
Comics.
YouTube channel?
huge. He was
Yeah, YouTube channel. You guys got to check out that channel. There's a lot of interesting stuff on there. You can see that Phil and what's your brother's name again? Brandon, right? Is it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Phil and Brandon they love pop culture. All right, they're into it, and they love pop culture from the past, current, not so current, but they just love it. And you know, it's a good representation. Couple good looking young guys. You know, they're on the pulse of it, but they, you know, give a lot of love to the past, and kind of like why things are now, you know, and have a certain appeal to them. So they do a good job with that. So definitely get on their YouTube channel and subscribe. But so
Thanks.
just give us a little you know, background on why you guys decided you wanted to do YouTube videos like that.
Well, let's see. You know, I obviously to promote. You know, I love YouTube, and I love the fact that we could do what we're doing right here. You could connect directly to your consumer, to your other creators and your peers, and it's kind of like a little community within itself. Like, I've met a bunch of great people, and we do these YouTube streams, hang out, you know, toss ideas back and forth, and that's just a really fertile soil to grow in. Is having this whole community that we could, you know, rise together, basically. You know, I think that's great. You know, I've always loved kind of being a host. I've hosted a few conventions in Chicago here with my brother, and that always helps. You know, I'm very familiar with streaming, not so much on YouTube, like, but I've streamed on Twitch for years. I was in the fighting game community for a really long time, and I was sponsored to go to different tournaments to play Mortal Kombat and Injustice, video games like that. So in Chicago here, we have a lot of areas that we can go and stream from, hold small tournaments. So I've been hosting and been on the mic for a really long time doing commentary for fighting games. So that's kind of another passion for me. And this is a great way to twist the two things together. And, you know, it's working out. We just hit, I think, 135 subscribers, I think, today. We've only been doing it for, you know, a few months, but the growth is, you know, endless. You know, we could just keep growing and growing, which is great, and it'll be only beneficial for the comic.
Right, and that's fantastic. So when you guys decided to you know, to write this comic, and then, you know, you came to the artist. Now I see your brother's the artist on it. Was he willing to jump on and do the art right away working with you, or was he unsure in any way about working together, or were you guys just like super stoked and said, yeah, let's do this?
Sure. So, I mean, I've known my brother all my life. So, we've worked on small projects together for a long time, whether it be during, our profession, or like I said, about like 7 or 8 years ago, my brother and I published a small comic book called The Silhouette, and it was basically a vigilante that him and I created together, and based in Chicago. He's kind of like the Shadow and Rorschach mixed into one, where he sees things very black and white. But Brandon's always have a graphic design background, never really into sequentials and stuff like that. So back then we would film actors in front of green screens, and he would make it look like a comic book. And we went to Wizard World, Chicago. We got a table there. We sold about 50 issues of the first two issues. I think we did issue 0 and then issue 1 the next few years. And, we were really young. Like, I'm 20, I'm going to be 26. And we were very young, and it was kind of like a hobby thing. But that's where I really fell in love with writing. And so now Brandon has, been working on his sketching skills, his drawing skills, and he really wanted to hit a certain drawing style with this book. And we're like, hey, let's, give it a shot. We'll practice doing sequentials together. I wrote out some pages, some scripts for him to go off of, and to see how he would practice working with a writer off of a script. And yeah, we've been doing that, and we're here now. Definitely, definitely been a wild ride.
So, your brother's on another show right now, but so would you say that his influence and Copies, anytime you want to pop in with a question, go right ahead.
Yeah, I'll pop in after you.
Yeah. So, his style is it's not your average like comic book style. Okay,
Mhm.
when I see his style, it definitely has that graphics influence, some of that gaming influence on it, as far as art style, which I think makes it work for this type of book. Um, so, would you any idea like what
Yep.
his influences are?
Yeah. So he really I mean, he's influenced probably the most by the animator that animates and draws for Courage the Cowardly Dog. Like, he loves that show. He loves that artist. And I know that guy's done animation for a while. So he we've worked on projects where he's had to do character designs for like 3D models and stuff for video games, and he definitely pulls from that a lot. And I think this in this book you could kind of see that it's kind of like an animation esque art, as if the show as if the book was almost a cartoon, like in a TV show. And I've actually heard feedback from some artists like that. They're relating it to some like Adult Swim animations and things like that. I'm definitely more of the comic geek. Like, I read all the time. I'm sitting next to a bookshelf full of graphic novels, and he's more of that the graphic art guy.
Mhm.
Definitely.
Well, I personally, I wouldn't, uh, I wouldn't say uh, Adult Swim. I would say where they got it from, like what would even what would have even made them possible in
Yeah.
the modern age is someone like Ralph Bakshi. That's more along the lines of what I would uh, if I were going to mention anyone that it seems
Yeah.
that not necessarily that he may be consciously thought of, but that's
Mhm.
what it kind of reminds me of, because and not like Fire and Ice or any of those movies the ones that have, a more traditional, as far as like anatomy or whatever, like the traditional style of drawing. But like
Sure.
Fritz the Cat and some of the other ones that he put out that were totally different. I mean, they were just not your typical style. It was a how do you call it? At the time, Disney had basically made it to where you had to have like a bunch of pencil tests. You had to have the best artists. You had to draw like you know almost realistic in the way that they drew back then. That's
Mhm.
all you could do. And if you couldn't do that, if you didn't have that, if you didn't have that many artists, if you didn't have that much money or whatever, then you're dead in the water. But Ralph Bakshi actually totally flipped everything on its head. And then after that, once his first few films came out, it brought a whole bunch of people coming with just totally different looking aesthetics and styles. There wasn't the Disney era was pretty much gone, at that point, as far as like having some sort of stranglehold on how animation was supposed to look,
Sure.
or to be not even just how it's supposed to look, the technique that's used, you know what I mean? Where Ralph Bakshi was doing a lot of rotoscoping and things like that, and it worked. And so your brother is basically really floating along those lines, taking it and understand what I mean. I say it in the best way, like perspective that isn't exactly right, but
Mhm.
with the way that he proportions his characters and different aspects of the artwork, it all fits, it all works, it becomes a
Yeah.
style, as opposed to just being something that because if you've got that one aspect wrong but you do all these other things right, then it becomes very apparent. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
you can know it's noticeable. Well, the way your brother
Mhm.
does it, it looks all intentional. You know what I mean? Like it looks
Yeah, I'm
intentional
sure
as
he'll
a
be.
style.
Yeah, he'll be happy to hear that.
Yeah.
Dude,
No,
what you have here, Caesar, looks
well,
awesome.
what's that?
This looks awesome. What you're drawing here.
Yeah. Well, just I don't know, man. This isn't going to be finished tonight, but we'll see if I can put some more work into it later on as a
Awesome.
warm up. But
Hey,
I
I'm
have
having
that.
trouble here.
I'm hoping I can pull it off.
Awesome. I'm having trouble with my camera. Could I drop out and come back in, see if it works?
Yeah. Yeah. Go right ahead.
Cool. Right back.
So while Phil is doing that, I just wanted you guys to know that I had Alejandro come on just to kind of or co-piece. We'll just call him co-piece. And he's going to be having a book coming out called Johnny's Law.
Johnny's Law. Yeah.
Johnny's Law, and that's when you putting out next year, right?
Yeah, I'm shooting hopefully for somewhere between February and April, somewhere. Hopefully.
Yeah. So he's got
the campaign.
Ibar Canales doing.
E-Bike Canales, yeah.
Yeah, he's doing the art on that, and he actually is doing a prequel. And we were talking, and Francois Goddard Damerung got you. He was trying to trick me with that. You see that? He's saying George Perez. No, I don't know.
Mhm.
If he's calling me George Perez, that's very high praise, and I'm very humbled by you saying that. But I'm going to be drawing a 10-page prequel to the Johnny's Law. Let me see. I think I got that image that I did for you.
It's called Johnny's Law, Ronin.
Yeah, Johnny's Law Ronin. So for those of you that don't know who this character is, I got him here somewhere. Let's see. And I think he's coming up. I'm getting to the J's right here. That guy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's Johnny Lau is his name.
Yeah, his name is Johnny Lau, Lau. He's black and Asian.
I got Phil back there. Looks like his camera's working,
Hmm.
and he's listening to something else. I don't know what's going on right now.
What's up?
All right, he's back. All right. So
Right.
you can look at his pretty young mug instead of my ugly old mug. I mean,
What's up?
trying to keep my El Guapo thing going, but I'm at the end of towards the end of my run. Phil's just starting on his.
I want to see Caesar or military Caesar. I want to see what he looked like.
Military Caesar was pretty badass, I'll be honest.
I'm sure.
Oh man, he looked like a little kid. Military Caesar was a little young looking kid. So yeah, so I don't know. I'm just we're banging this out right here. Kind of.
Sweet.
Someone made a comment about let me see what's he writing here. Back. Hey, so can Zayd come in, or is he still having camera problems? I mean,
I'm here.
Your brother.
Oh no, Brandon. He's on that other show.
Oh, he's still on that other show. Okay. All right, because
Yeah.
I saw him make a comment about he's back. Or did you write that?
That was me. That's me.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, that's me. That's usually always me. See, I'm always on the YouTube. He's on. Yeah.
All right.
Well, this is looking good. Can I tell you guys about the story of the book?
Yeah. Go right ahead.
Go right ahead.
Well,
Cool.
That's why we
Cool,
had.
yeah. Awesome. Yeah, so Magic Cop is basically we're mashing Miami Vice with Halloween Town, that 80s flashy aesthetic with these monsters and magic. So the first book is the start of the first case of this Magic Cop named Iggy Cromwell, and he's our brand new Magic Cop to the city. He just graduated from the academy, and he's sent straight to detective because Magic Cop is such a high prestige position. Although it is a lineage thing, his wand is passed down from generation to generation to him. So some of the other detectives and officers have some animosity towards him because they think he's just this overprivileged kid. So that's kind of some of the adversity he has to deal with and break through that. So he has to learn to work with his Wolfman partner who's on the verge of retirement. He used to be gung-ho and now he's down on his luck. Some trauma happened to him and now he's stuck in his wolf persona. And the main story is about them investigating this murder of a mermaid prostitute. And from there it blows up into this bigger story. We get to meet the big bad who is a kind of Jamaican skeleton man who's this big crime boss in the city, and we figure out what he's doing. And yeah, I always say that there is fast cars, hot beach babes, and even hotter crime. The only detective with the spells to stop it is Magic Cop.
Yeah, I like it. I like the fact that you have the I don't care because I'm about to retire. And the guy who's going through issues because he's older and I'm too old for this, you know what I mean, type of thing. And I like that.
Definitely.
And then the main character what you said about they think he's privileged and so on and so forth. That reminds me of Mike Lowry, the character of Mike Lowry from Bad Boys, where he didn't have to be a cop. I mean, he had a trust fund and everything, but he had to prove himself, and that's what made him a better character because it could have just been boring, but it really adds to it, So that's the same type of deal, which is cool.
Yeah, and you get even though the title is Magic Cop, that our Grey Wolf character, you get a lot of the emotion through his storyline. You kind of see what happened to him, why he's like this, down on his luck, and kind of fed up with the job. And Magic Cop's role is to bring that new, fresh spin into the department and kind of lift him back up. And then we have, our witch Helly, who is this super sexy witch detective. She's green, and she goes undercover as a prostitute to get some information. She's working on that case, trying to stop that Madam Sith character and crack down on her. She's, Helly's very flirtatious, and I kind of put this kind of comical edge to her where she's always self-conscious that when she doesn't want to get old, because when she gets older, her, witches' noses get really big and gross. So she kind of doesn't want to be a witch. And I throw some comments in there, just to lighten the mood a little bit. So, yeah. And then we have O'Hara, who's the big leprechaun that is kind of like the comic relief. He's a gentle giant. You're always going to see him. If he's not in a fight, he's always got some food in his hand. Brandon drew him on his first appearance. He's got like a wrap or a burrito in his hand that he's eating. And when he goes to shake Magic Cop's hand, he puts the burrito in his mouth and shakes his hand with both hands, and his words are muffled. So kind of just like grabbing different tropes from different movies, 80s TV.
Yeah.
Throwing it in there.
That reminds me of the guy from the Fast and Furious franchise. The one guy who's the Asian guy that's always eating. He's always snacking on something. Yeah, but there's another movie that had that. I can't remember which one, but yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I really like that. We wanted to throw a bunch of things that people find familiar, but don't oversaturate it, right? Because we still want to make it an unfamiliar place. It's still our world if our world was inhabited by these magical creatures. And even Brandon goes so far to add in the architecture of buildings, kind of that old-timey, castle-esque stones. We have different towns and districts of the city, so you'll see different cultures represented in them and mythologies of those cultures. So we really want to build a vast landscape here in our city.
Yeah.
And wrap it up with the magic.
So this is it looks like it's the 80s, but is it like our time? Like, would it be like in our current timeline, or is it set like in the past, or we just don't really know what the time is because you've got all these different elements in there of architecture and things.
Right. So we don't specifically say a decade or year, but basically this world is kind of like set in our 80s, but not on our planet. It's a total fantasy world. So it mixes, with the architectures of the old sword and sorcery fantasies, but set on like a coastal city. So you still have skyscrapers, but they're kind of like magical skyscrapers. Maybe there's like a big gem that's powering the city on top of the skyscraper. There's a town called Little Camelot that is the architecture there is very big stones and castle-esque towers. And so we're kind of mixing the two in this fantasy world. You still have your beaches, kind of like your bungalow areas, and they do foot chases on the beach. People are playing volleyball, but still there's no cell phones. So if there is like a wireless phone, it's going to be an old brick phone, and you're just pulling from that Miami Vice scene and a bunch of like magic fantasy world to make it something new.
The old car phones with the cord, with the curly Q cord.
Yeah, definitely.
Like on Wall Street.
Yeah.
Like
costs about like $2 to $5 a minute. Yeah.
So the magic in this world, it come from a source, like a general source, do these magicians or these certain families that have these traits, do they tap into that? Only certain people can do it, or explain to us a little bit, how magic works in this world.
Sure. Yeah. So definitely there's multiple magic cops. So each precinct is going to have one, and then there's like magic cops from years ago. So Iggy's dad was a magic cop, his grandfather was a magic cop. So those are the guys that are going to be the most powerful. They're kind of like your top tier lawmen, right? Those are the ones that just inherently have the gene that goes along with the magic. In this book, we don't explore where the magic comes from, and as a writer, I would love to do that in the future, because then it just makes your world building even more have more of a solid foundation, and that's awesome to explore in the future. But other people do use magic, like Helly the Witch. She uses magic a lot throughout the story. She actually has this like pocket-sized cauldron that she brings everywhere so she could whip up her spells. So in one scene, she puts a like a cloaking spell on Magikarp to make him look like someone else. But she needs to be there next to him so the spell lasts. And it's something like that Magikarp, would need the aid for, because in case stuff goes down, he's there to really pull out the spells to whoop some ass. And then she also puts like wiretaps on some of the agents by using a spell, blowing smoke into wherever they are, and they breathe in it. And then we have O'Hara, who's in a van, and he has another cauldron that's a big one, and he could see what's going on, what they see, and hear what everyone's saying, and it ends up being recorded too. So kind of like mixing those cop tropes that you have, but putting a magical twist on them.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's basically all you had to do is just take the different, I mean, you could even write it as just a regular like story, and then go through and look for everything that you could change, to be magical. So how like sometimes they take off in their in their little car or whatever, and you hear the backfire and the smoke comes out or whatever. But in this case, it could be like pixie dust or whatever, that comes out of the back.
Yeah, we have that in the pilot issue that's available in the behind the scenes ash can. They jump in their car, and Magikarp's got a really cool, badass car that my brother designed. It's called the Unicorn. It's based on those old Ferraris. And he loves cars. He used to design cars just when in school, sketching them out. So he got this really cool car. And when he cuts loose, puts the pedal to the metal, a giant beam of like purple magic comes out of the tailpipe. It's really cool.
Oh, that's cool. You ain't putting no banana in my tailpipe. I really would. That would be a nice, little nod there. I love that from Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah.
So every person that uses magic accesses it in a different way.
Yeah. So like the magic wand, only Magikarps have magic wands. Or I really want to do a story in the future where someone like a criminal gets their hands on a magic wand through the black market, or maybe there's like another Magikarp that goes rogue. Like those would be really cool stories to tell, because magic wands are so scarce, and you only get them if you're a Magikarp through your family. So right off the bat, when Iggy's introduced, there's some homicide detectives at his precinct that are kind of like these douchebags that no one really likes. They're just, they're a-holes, and they see that he's got a wand, and he's got it in his shoulder holster like a gun. And so they're like, whoa, no one told us that there's a new Magikarp here. And then they're ragging on him, making fun of him, telling him that, his parents got him the job and stuff like that. So.
Rusty Deo says, maybe have the Jamaican skeleton dude say, ain't falling for no femur in the tailpipe trick. I like that. That's funny.
Yeah, he's super Jamaican. Like he says "man" all the time, and his speech bubbles are they're different than regular speech bubbles. They're like, I wish I could show you guys, but they have purple edges around them, and they're kind of like spiky. So you're definitely going to know he's a bad guy when he's talking because he's introduced early on in the book, but you don't really see him until I think the end of like chapter 2, and then we give like that big comic book reveal to this is what he looks like. Yeah, so he's one of my favorite characters. That's awesome.
Yeah, I saw an interview one time, and I don't remember who it was. It was a Jamaican artist, a singer who was going over. They show him different clips of people doing Jamaican accents, you know. And I remember he spoke about the man, and he was like, "Yaman, yaman." He's like, I don't even know where that came from. He's like, because we don't say that, we say man, but we don't say man like the way they say it in say it in movies and music and videos and stuff. But what I would like to see when you were talking about scenes like down at the beach and they're like playing volleyball and lifting weights and all that, I would love to see some people breakdancing somewhere and probably like reference breaking, I think it's breaking 1, and have a guy that looks like Van Damme, because he's in that first one. I think that would be like a nice little
That'd
nod.
be funny.
Yeah,
and that's funny. I think the opening of Miami Vice, the first episode, which was basically like this movie, right? It was a 2-parter. The opening scene is people breakdancing, and Sonny Crockett is standing there with his old partner before he dies.
Yeah,
and they're standing out there, and people are breakdancing. So that would be perfect. Yeah,
that would be cool. Also, and later, whenever you show the beach again, you could even show who was it? Mahoney from Police Academy, the first one, because he used to work at the beach. He used to work as a beach cop, and he had that little, I don't know what kind of thing it is. It was like a 4-wheeler. It was a 4-wheeler that they used to patrol the beach or whatever. That would be cool.
So, Phil, once you get this out there, it's 88 pages. You're telling a story. How many more stories do you have? I mean, the thing about cop crime shows and things like that is, you can pretty much do a different show every week. Even a show like Law and Order, it's a cop show. It's on every week. They have the lawyer stuff mixed into it. Sometimes they do current event stuff and that sort of thing. Do you see yourself telling multiple stories here?
Definitely.
The Magic Cop.
Yeah, I think we're gonna stick with the same characters, like the 4 main characters. And like I said, when we were designing the arcade game, I came up with a bunch of bosses for these characters to fight in different like stages and stuff like that. So I have other bosses that we want to tell stories with. So they would lend perfectly through like an episode 2, because we're calling this one episode 1. So like a book, episode 2, I already have the idea of what I want to do. It's plotted out for that one. We're going to explore and deep dive more with these characters. And I even, if we reach a certain stretch goal with this book, I have probably would be around 16 pages spin-off book that's just deals with Grey Wolf that we would love to do with another artist. Probably like Pablo would be great for it, going into a story deep dive in before he met Magic Cop. Kind of, he's on this like vendetta like path. So I would love to do that. But yeah, with our vast rogues gallery of characters that we could put Magic Cop against, we have already probably 3 books plotted that we want to explore, and that we're planning on doing that. So if this one gets funded, we fulfill it. I have my next project that I'm going to do after this, which is a totally different IP, and we would love to alternate between those. So do a Magic Cop and then the other one, and then a Magic Cop and the other one. And we would love to build a fan base like that and tell these stories. And of course, it's going to be, even though it is episodic like that, like a TV show. You look at any TV show from the 90s or 80s that was an episodic, self-contained story in each show, there's still that overarching path where the characters change over multiple episodes of a season. So that's what we're planning on doing.
Well, then if you're doing this and you're in the 80s and you're using tropes, and you got to have then there's got to be one story about the newest deadly designer drug on the street. Man. That's because that's always one. They always come up with something, ice or slick or, whatever they call it. They come up with all these different names.
You read in my mind. That's literally the next story. That's the next book.
Okay, yeah.
and there's this really cool boss that's behind it that we created for a long time ago, and he just fits perfectly in the Magic Cop universe, and he's basically using magic like a drug, and he's putting it out there on the market, and Magic Cop has to figure out a way to take him down. So,
dude, if you do that story, right, which you are going to do it, but when you do that story, even if it's just a passing reference, somebody says it, it's a title in a movie, a theater or a poster or on a TV or something, somewhere in the background, have an Easter egg of I can't remember his character from RoboCop 2. The one who they put him into the robot, but they had to use that drug to
right?
Yeah.
9 or something.
Yeah, and the one part where like the little claws came out, and it's like he wants the drug, that would be a nice little nod, because that's still 80s, and that would fit with this theme of the story. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. No, there's so much we could do with this world. I'm really excited to let loose in it.
Yeah. Well, the nice thing is that you guys have really done a great job with the world building aspect of this. Obviously you've got a lot there, and that really does help to create a cohesive universe that you can tell stories from that. If you're gonna create something and you really don't have an idea where you're going with it, you're just kind of throwing a story out there for no purpose. The readers can tell that right away, and you definitely got to have some direction. That's really fantastic. So right now we're at 9:54. We're probably gonna be closing this down. I usually go about an hour and a half or so.
Cool. Yeah.
Working on this piece. It's not done, obviously, but I kind of like where this is going.
Yeah, right? I love it. Yeah, it's so cool.
So this is probably something I'm going to be chewing away at for a little bit, and maybe I'll surprise you, Phil.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay. So before I go, I want to make sure to give Phil a chance to plug. But let's see. So I'm going to start off with Cold Piece. How do we get a hold of you? If we want to get a hold of you?
Well, if you flash my little banner or whatever on the screen, if you're able to, or you can copy and paste it there, but it's Twitter at A Cold Piece, as it's spelled on my banner here, and also at Deltaverse, which is Deltaverse, the Twitter for Deltaverse, which is essentially like a banner, a PR banner, but also sort of an opportunity in the future for the creators that are a part of Deltaverse to not only have their stuff be promoted, but for us to take our characters, put them in this alternate universe, have them interact in original storylines, and then they can go back to their separate universes without messing up, any of their continuity or timelines. So, but those are the two areas on Twitter that you can reach me at, and that's pretty much it. That's where I function.
Awesome. And Phil, obviously our guest for the evening. We're really excited about his project. So by all means, check it out. But let's give Phil the floor. Why don't you let people know how they can get a hold of you?
Cool. Yeah. You could my Twitter handle's right there, GGA Phil Pops, or we have a Zade Comics Twitter handle. Also, head on over to youtube.com/Zade Comics is our channel. We give updates every week. In fact, I forgot to film an update today for Magic Cop Monday. But yeah, we're on Instagram. And my brother's on there at Zade Ninja. And go over to zadecomics.com. You could sign up for our newsletter. If you guys didn't back already, you could sign up there and you'll get a special link for a members only print. We tweeted that out today. It's Helly with a members only jacket on it. It's like high vis pink, super awesome colors from our boy Eugene. And if you back that tier, you get both of the books and you get that free print. And if you back tonight, you're going to get that Vic King print as well. And I see we've already had, I think, 2 or 3 backers since I've been on stream. So that is awesome. Thank you guys so much for having me tonight. And yeah, shout outs to Deltaverse, and hit that like button, subscribe to El Guapo.
Yeah. So just to repeat that again, I think Phil, I'm not going to be stretching this too hard by saying that if you subscribe, or rather if you back his project tonight, and just put a reference that you heard this on the El Guapo channel, you can get that a free print, and it's pretty nice. It's pretty awesome. So you can get that just for free, and all you got to do is support this very interesting, great little project here with Magic Cop. It's cool. It's got all the stuff that we like. Babes, good-looking babes, cops, fun story, magic. I mean, what is there not to love about it? So by all means, definitely check that out. Back it. I backed the project already, and maybe I'll get a free print. Who knows? But anyway, listen. I just want to give a big shout out to Cole Peace for joining me tonight and co-hosting with me, and of course, Phil Diaz, right? One of the coolest dudes in independent comics right now, right? And too bad we couldn't have Brandon on here, but that's all right. He's out there spreading the love on another channel. It's like that's the way they work. They tag team it. Yeah. So once again, I also want to give a quick shout out again to all the people that backed Chongo, the Broken Veil. I'm going to be getting back to work on that again. May not be streaming as much because, hey, you know what? I got to get this book done. Yeah. But I will definitely be here next Monday with another guest. So smash the like button, all right? I need some more likes on this video, some more people checking out the Magic Cop project, and subscribe to the channel, and look forward to the next announcement for my next guest. All right, this piece right here is gonna get done. All right.
Hell yeah.
It's gonna be cool. I kind of like the way it's going, so we'll see how far it goes. All right. Be a nice surprise. Anyway, I want to give everyone my love, peace, happiness, joy. God bless you all. You have a great night. Thanks again to my guests, and thank you all for your comments and for sharing. Thank you.
Follow me on Twitter. All right.
See ya.
Bye.